Okay, so today we're going to be making a yeast bread. Specifically, we're going to be making a cinnamon star bread. So what we're going to do is take 3/4 cup of water and add 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. So we're going to put this to the side, and I can already see it starting to bubble. So with this type of bread, you're going to be using some dried potato flakes with 2 cups of flour, and we have a 1/2 cup of dried potato flakes. I have a 1/4 cup of dry milk, and then we're just going to whisk this together. We'll just do that and put this to the side. The next set of ingredients, since we're making an enriched dough, it's going to have a little bit of butter, and we have dried milk in it, and there's also going to be a little bit of egg in it as well at the end. So essentially an enriched dough is going to take a little bit longer to make. This entire recipe is going to take about 3 or 4 hours. Mash up unsalted butter and add 2 tablespoons of sugar and a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to throw that into here while our yeast is blooming. So looking at our yeast in our water, I'm starting to see a little bit of bubbles, so it tells me that it's alive. The other ingredients that we have, the sugar is going to be food for the yeast, and the salt's going to control the growth. So all of these ingredients are very important when making your dough. And this is also a really good recipe just to do, again, if you're kind of stuck in the house, because these are all ingredients that typically you may have in your pantry. And add this to a bigger bowl. That's what I need. And add my bloomed yeast and water. And then I'm just going to slowly start adding the dry ingredients until it all kind of mixes together, and then I start my kneading. So once you're able to touch your dough without it sticking to you, you can go and add the rest of the dry ingredients while you're kneading. So the steps of kneading would be to push, fold, and turn it. In doing this step, you're going to be developing gluten, which is responsible for making the dough nice and elastic. Once I'm done kneading this in about 5 to 8 minutes, I'm going to put it into my bowl and put a little bit of oil in it and let it proof for 1 to 2 hours. So right now I feel pretty good about where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and push my finger in it, and it should still leave an indent but kind of spring back a little bit to tell me that it's done. And now we're going to let it rest and rise for about 1 to 2 hours. What I'm going to do is put it into the same bowl I had my dry ingredients in, but I just want to make sure I add a little bit of oil to coat it because it can dry out. And then I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap, and I'm actually going to stick it in my oven, but my oven is going to be off because it's going to be the warmest place in my house. So you actually can put hot water underneath your bowl, and that will create a warmer environment. We're kind of shooting for like 80 degrees. So as you can see, it doubled in size. So what we're going to do is punch the dough down and let the bubbles kind of redistribute. And portion this out into 4 rolls. No need to weigh it out. I'm just going to take it, roll it, and then I'm going to let this rest for another 15 minutes. So now we're doing the fun part, which we are going to be shaping the dough into the layers. So I'm going to take each dough and make it into a round circle about 10 inches or so. And then basically we're going to be taking each layer and layering it with egg wash and some cinnamon sugar, and then we will do the twist, which makes it into a star bread. So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to measure out roughly the middle of your stack. And then we're going to make 16 slices. So basically you take one chunk and you're going to turn it one way 3 times. And then with the one next to it, you're going to do it the same but the other way. So I'm going to go inward. And then we're going to do that all the way around. So I'm going to let this rest one more time. My oven is preheating at 400 and I'm going to bake this after I put one last layer of egg wash, and this is going to help brown a little bit, and it's going to bake for about 12 to 14 minutes. So mine baked in about 14 minutes. This recipe is by King Arthur Flour. I got it off of their website. Hope you enjoy.